You spent weeks perfecting that design. The user research backs it up. The usability testing was flawless, but when you present it to stakeholders, crickets. Or worse, they shoot it down in 5 minutes. Sound familiar? Today we're talking about why your best design ideas get rejected, and more importantly, how to fix it. Because here's the thing, it's probably not your design that's the problem. Most designers think idea rejection happens because of bad leadership, office politics, or stakeholders who just don't get design. But after working with hundreds of designers, I've noticed a pattern. The problem isn't your design skills, it's how you're presenting your ideas. Here's what usually happens. You fall in love with a solution before understanding the business problem. You present features instead of outcomes. You focus on what the design does, not what it achieves. You assume everyone sees the same problems that you see. I call this solution-first thinking, and it is killing your influence as a designer. The designers who consistently get their ideas approved, they think business first and design second, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. Let's take a look at the impact framework, which transforms how you present design ideas. Let's walk through each step together. Identify the business problem first. Before you show a single mock-up, start with this question. What business problem are we solving? Not user problems, not design problems, but business problems. Here's a bad approach. This checkout flow has usability issues versus a good approach. Our checkout abandonment rate is 68%, costing us $2.3 million annually. See the difference? You're speaking their language now. Here's the thing. User problems and business problems aren't always the same thing. You might discover that users want feature A, but the business actually needs you to focus on feature B because it drives more revenue. So, before you design anything, do your homework. Interview key stakeholders about their biggest challenges. Look at the company's quarterly goals, OKRs, and metrics. Identify where current performance is falling short. Find the gap between where you are and where you need to be. When you start with business context, your design solutions become strategic investments, not just nice to have, pretty looking improvements. And here's a pro tip. If you can't clearly articulate the business problem in one sentence, you're probably not ready to design just yet. Before we continue, a quick shout out to Lovable, our sponsor for today's video. If you've ever designed the perfect app in Figma but got stuck bringing it to life, this AI tool is for you. With Lovable, you can instantly transform your Figma designs into fully functional apps. No coding required. Live preview, image support, instant undo, collaborative branching, automatic bug fixes, and when you're ready, one click and it's live. Here's a design. It looks exactly how it's supposed to, but turning this into a real app, that usually means either coding it yourself or hoping you can get a team of developers, if you even have access to one. And honestly, that can take forever. With Lovable, you can instantly turn your Figma file into a fully working app. Everything runs automatically and you stay in complete control of your design. This is how it works. The Figma file gets imported, layouts can be tweaked, buttons added, and with just a click, everything works exactly as it should. Switch between pages and it all flows perfectly, just like it was designed. Let's be real, more and more design roles are now listing AI as a required skill. Using Lovable doesn't just save you time and bring your ideas to life, but it also helps you future-proof your career and build a skill that will last. Check it out. The AI handles most of the work, and with a little bit of fine-tuning, everything turns out just right. Lovable keeps everything just the way you designed it and even helps you level up your skills to become a stronger, future-ready designer. Use this promo code for 20% off your first Lovable plan. It's valid for 30 days, so you can give it a try and see your ideas come alive. Let's get back to the video. Connect your design directly to metrics leadership cares about. Here's how Filippo's product design leader I spoke with puts it. How you connect your design decisions to the business impact is critical. Let's see what more he has to say.
So I think to me, it always goes back to one thing. How do you connect your design decisions to business impact? And everyone talks about this right now, having that ability to connect the design decision with what the business impact was, whether that's the specific solution to an initiative or even coming up with an initiative. I think that's the most important thing. So as a design leader, I often get asked, what was the value of your, what I always say, well, here is the research that we did. Out of that research, here are the initiatives that actually we came up with rather than just the commercial manager or a PM. And out of all of those initiatives, these are actually the ones that really move the needle from the business, whether those were successful A/B tests or new feature launches. The most important thing is that you understand the connection. You understand what it is that you're working on and how does it impact the business. If you make that connection and you bring back every conversation to that connection, then you can be someone that is extremely valuable to the business, and then the business will understand it. The way that I would talk to the business and the stakeholders is, what our initiatives drove this much conversion rate. Our new feature that we launched there because of our interview cycles with 25 customers actually like allowed us to find product market fit in that category. This initiative that we had about rethinking that entire flow led to us making double the money because of an increase in conversion rate, or this kept us from losing customers in month 3. So it's not about the specifics. It's really about making that connection. And the only way to learn to make that connection is speak to your stakeholders and really get to understand what's important for them.
So focus on outcomes. Our initiative drove this much conversion rate. Our new feature allowed us to find product market fit in that category. Don't say we conducted user interviews and followed design thinking, but consider saying, customer interviews with 25 users revealed the key barrier to conversion, leading to a 23% increase in signups. If your company's goal is growth, show how your design increases conversion or reduces churn. If it's efficiency, show how it saves time or reduces support tickets. Your design brief should read like a business case, not a creative brief. Present with data and user insights. Never present a design without data backing it up. Here's the reality. Stakeholders make decisions based on evidence, not aesthetics. So your beautiful design mock-ups mean nothing without proof or conviction that they will actually work. Build your case with 3 layers of evidence. Layer 1, quantitative foundation. Current state metrics, where are we failing? Industry benchmarks, how do we compare to competitors? Historical performance, what trends are we seeing? Layer 2, qualitative insights. User research findings that explain the why behind the numbers. Customer support feedback and common pain points. Usability test results that validate your approach. Layer 3, design solution. Your mock-ups and prototypes. Projected impact based on similar changes. Success metrics you'll track post-launch. Here's what a data-packed presentation might look like. Slide 1. Our mobile conversion rate is 40% below desktop. Slide 2. Users abandon at step 3 of the checkout, and here's why, maybe showing some user quotes. Slide 3, competitors solve this with a simplified form, your benchmark data. Slide 4, our solution addresses the top 3 friction points. Slide 5, expected outcome, 25% increase in mobile conversion. Look, the key is telling a story with data. Problem evidence, solution, and an expected outcome. Data transforms opinions into facts, and facts get budgets approved. Anticipate objections and understand stakeholder motivations. Smart designers don't just prepare for objections. They understand why stakeholders might object in the first place. Here's what I learned from a recent conversation with Florian, a senior design leader. When someone pushes back on your ideas, ask yourself, what is their goal in the project? What is their responsibility? What might make them think that they can reach their goals quicker by doing something different? Sometimes a pushback isn't about your design. It's about a perceived gap in your process. Let's hear more what he has to say.
I always try to see where people are coming from. What's the product owner interested in? What's their goal in the project? What's their task? What's their responsibility? And what's their goal? And then when you think about that, try to think what might make them think they can reach this goal quicker by doing the work you are actually supposed to do. And then see if you can kind of unravel that from there. It's a matter of conversation and making sure everyone can be as effective on the team as possible and just talking that through. But sometimes this can show that maybe the way you're working might also be lacking in some ways. So, for example, if they feel like you should do so much more user research, but instead of being confrontational, they'll just do it themselves. You might want to tickle that out of them a little bit. And you would just want to make them not maybe say it, but like make them indicate that they expect a little bit more of something from you. And so I would try to go that path and see if you can find out if it's just this person generally shooting over the line, or if they see something missing on the team or with you, and then see if you can resolve that together.
Okay, so a few things to consider. If a product manager starts doing user research themselves, they might feel like you're not doing enough on your own. If engineering questions your technical feasibility, they might need more detailed specifications up front. If leadership seems disengaged, they might not see how your work connects to their priorities. The key is having honest, consistent conversations about expectations and working styles, not just defending your design decisions. Here are some common objections I've seen from stakeholders and how to handle them. The classic, this will take too long. So how might you show a phased rollout plan? Users won't understand this. So how might you present usability test results? It's too risky. Could you propose an A/B testing approach? When you understand motivations, objections become collaborative problem solving. Create a clear implementation plan. Don't just show what to build, show how to build it. Here's where most designers lose credibility. They present amazing solutions with zero thought about execution. Stakeholders immediately think, this person doesn't understand how business works. Your implementation plan should answer these following questions. Resources and timeline. How many weeks will this take? What development effort is required? And you can work with engineering to get estimates. Are there any external dependencies? Legal review. Third-party integrations. What's the realistic timeline with buffer for testing and iteration? Phased rollout strategy. Can this be broken down into smaller milestones? What's the MVP version that delivers 80% of the value? How do we de-risk the implementation with gradual rollouts? For example, instead of saying, redesign the entire checkout flow, present it like this. Phase 1, simplify form fields. 2 weeks, low risk. Phase 2, add a progress indicator. 1 week, medium impact. Phase 3, implement guest checkout. 4 weeks, high impact. Success metrics and measurement. What specific KPIs will we track? How long after launch will we measure success? What's our rollback plan if metrics don't improve? When you think through implementation, you're not just a designer, you're a strategic partner who understands how to turn ideas into reality. Time your pitch strategically. Timing is everything. The same idea can get approved or rejected based purely on when you present it. Perfect timing opportunities. These could include budget and planning cycles. So how might you present during quarterly planning when budgets are being allocated? How might you align with annual goal setting sessions or pitch right before a roadmap planning meeting? Market pressures. After a competitor launches something similar, could be a good time. When industry reports highlight trends you're addressing or following customer churn or negative feedback spikes. These are all great moments too. Internal catalysts. When current metrics are particularly bad, maybe after user research reveals critical insights, or following customer support escalations. But here's the advanced move. Create urgency when timing isn't naturally perfect. Frame your pitch around, if we don't address this by Q2, we'll miss our annual targets. Our biggest competitor just launched this, we need to respond. This aligns perfectly with the company's new focus on retention. Some examples of bad timing. Here's a nice improvement we should probably make someday, versus good timing. This addresses the top customer complaint from last month's NPS survey, and implementing it before our next product review would demonstrate our commitment to user experience. Smart designers don't just wait for the perfect timing, they create it. Let me show you a real example transformation. So let's look at the before. I redesigned our mobile app because the current design looks outdated and users are confused by the navigation. After, mobile app engagement dropped 23% this quarter while our competitors grew 15%. User interviews revealed 67% of users can't find features within 30 seconds. This redesign addresses the 3 biggest navigation pain points and is projected to increase screen time by 40% and feature discovery by 60%. Here's the 6-week rollout plan. Same design, completely different reception. So let's talk about your action plan. Here's what you can do this week, especially if you're currently stuck in that order taker role. Start with proving your value. A design leader I spoke with, Miranda, put it perfectly. You have to prove that you actually can contribute value to the planning roadmap. Every single time you present a design, you have to help people understand what business value it adds. Let's take a look at what she says.
You have to prove that you actually can contribute the value to the planning roadmap. So if you're not already, you have to be, every single time that you present a design, you have to allow people to understand what business value it adds to. So if you are trying to solve a particular problem, it can't just be like, oh, this will make our users happy. It has to be this will the impact that I anticipate. So that's the baseline. You have to have that solid foundation. Speaking the same language as product is core to them listening to you. If you always come in with UX jargon, you're setting that barrier for yourself. And bar none, it'll be very difficult for them to listen to you. Make a proposal. Go away, do a little bit of the extra design work to say, look, I saw these problems as well. And I think we could exponentially increase our conversion, our click-through, whatever. Always tying it back to the product thing. If we kind of do this and start trying to gain a little bit of traction to show those wins until you kind of establish that credibility with your product counterpart, because then it'll be a lot easier to have that conversation of, hey, I know planning's coming up. I want to try to do a little bit more design exploration, give you guys a little bit more confidence behind some of your decisions. So can I be included in those conversations? But you have to kind of prove that value for them to even start to consider.
Here's your progression plan. Master the language. Stop using UX jargon and start speaking in business metrics. If you always come in with UX-centric language, you're setting up barriers. Find small wins. When you do usability testing for one feature, look for broader insights. Maybe users struggled with a step before or after your feature. So make a proposal. I found these additional problems that could exponentially increase our conversion if we address them. Number 3, build credibility gradually. Start with little design explorations that you can tie back to business impact. Show these wins to establish credibility with your product counterparts. Number 4, then ask for your seat at the table. So once you've proven your value, you can say, I know planning's coming up. Can I be included to add more design exploration and give you more confidence behind the product decisions we're making? The key insight, you have to prove your value before they'll even consider including you in strategic conversations. Now remember, your job isn't just to make things look good, it's to make the business better through design. So the difference between designers who get their ideas approved and those who don't isn't just talent, it's your strategic approach. When you start thinking like a business partner instead of just a designer, everything changes. If you enjoyed this topic, head on over to my website and subscribe to my bi-weekly newsletter, where you'll get a new article from me every 2 weeks on topics like this. If this helped you, hit that like button, subscribe for more content on advancing your design career, drop a comment. What's the best design idea that you've had rejected? I read every single comment on this channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.